Joan Park looked at the letter in his hands for the 5th time. He still could not believe it. Out of all the students on Earth, they had picked him for the Galactic Federation exchange program. "Mom, Dad, I got in," Jun shouted as he ran down the stairs of their small house in Seoul. His parents looked up from their breakfast. His father's coffee mug stopped halfway to his mouth. "You got in?" his mother asked, eyes wide. "The space school." Jun nodded fast. His heart was beating hard in his chest. He handed the letter to his parents. They read it together, their faces changing from shock to pride. The letter was simple but important. Joan Park had been chosen as the first human to attend Celestial Academy, the best high school in the galaxy. 3 days later, a man in a black suit came to their house. He had a small pin on his jacket that showed Earth and 3 stars around it, the mark of the Earth Space Agency. "Mr. Park," the man said to Jun, "I am Agent Lee. I am here to tell you about your new school." Agent Lee set up a small device on their table. It showed a floating image of a huge space station shaped like a wheel. "This is Celestial Academy," Agent Lee explained. "It has students from over 200 planets. You will be the first human to attend." "Why me?" Jun asked. The question had kept him awake for days. Agent Lee smiled. "Your test scores were very high. You learn fast. You stay calm in hard situations. And you are kind. We need all these things for this job." "Job?" Jun's father asked, frowning. "Yes," Agent Lee said. His face became serious. "This is not just school. This is Earth's first step into the galaxy. How Jun acts will shape how aliens see all humans." Agent Lee touched the device, and the image changed to show different alien types. "There is something you must understand," he continued. "Earth is what the galaxy calls a death world." "A what?" Jun asked. "A death world. It means our planet is very dangerous compared to most alien worlds. Our gravity is stronger. Our weather is more extreme. Our animals are more deadly." Agent Lee looked straight at Jun. "This means you are stronger than most aliens. You can live through things that would kill them. This makes them afraid of humans." Jun stared back. "They think I'm dangerous." "Yes, to many species, you are like a monster from a scary movie. You can break their bones by accident. You can survive injuries that would kill them. You can run faster and longer than many of them." Jun's excitement changed to worry. "Then why send me at all?" "Because we need to show them that humans can be safe neighbors, that our strength doesn't make us a threat." Agent Lee handed Jun a small tablet. "This has all the information about the alien species you will meet. Study it carefully." For the next month, Jun learned about alien cultures. He learned which species could not hear low sounds, which ones saw different colors than humans, which ones thought showing teeth was a death threat. The night before he left, Jun could not sleep. He looked out his window at the stars. Tomorrow, he would be up there, among them. His mother came into his room and sat on his bed. "Are you scared?" she asked. "Yes," Jun said honestly. "Good," she replied. "Fear will keep you careful, but don't let it stop you." She handed him a small box. Inside was a necklace with a tiny globe charm. "To remember where you come from," she said, "and to remember that being strong means you must be extra gentle." The next morning, Jun stood on the launch pad, a single bag in his hand. The ship that would take him to Celestial Academy was small but sleek. Agent Lee shook his hand. "Remember your mission, Jun. Learn everything you can. Make friends if possible. And most importantly, don't freak anyone out," Jun finished. "Exactly," Agent Lee nodded. "Good luck, Mr. Park. Earth is counting on you." As the ship door closed, Jun took a deep breath. He was about to become the first human to attend an alien high school. He just hoped he wouldn't accidentally scare everyone to death on his first day. The ship docked with a soft bump. Jun grabbed his bag and stepped into the arrival area of Celestial Academy. The space was huge, with a tall glass ceiling that showed the stars. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved around him. Jun tried not to stare. There were tall, thin creatures with 4 arms, small, round beings that rolled instead of walked. Some aliens looked almost human, except for their blue or green skin. Others looked nothing like anything Jun had ever seen. A small robot floated up to him. "Jun Park from Earth." It asked in perfect Korean. "Yes, that's me," Jun answered, surprised to hear his language. "Welcome to Celestial Academy. I will take you to your room." Jun followed the robot through wide hallways. He walked slowly and kept his arms close to his body. He remembered Agent Lee's words, "No sudden movements." The robot stopped at a door marked Earth Section, Deathworlders. Jun frowned at the label. It made him sound dangerous. The door slid open. Inside was a room with 2 beds, 2 desks, and a window that looked out into space. A boy about Jun's age was sitting on one of the beds. "You must be the new human," the boy said in Korean. He stood up and held out his hand. "I'm Taho Kim, from New Seoul on Colony 6. Jun shook his hand, relieved to meet another human. "Jun Park, from Old Seoul on Earth." Taho smiled. "An original Earther. Cool. I've been here for 1 semester already. They put us humans together because we have similar needs." "You mean like the gravity and air?" Jun asked. "That, and because we freak everyone out," Taho said with a laugh. "Let me give you some tips before your first day of classes tomorrow." Taho showed Jun around their room. He explained the food machine, the shower, and the study area. Then he got serious. "Listen, there are rules for humans here. First, never run in the hallways. To most aliens, a running human looks like a predator attacking. Second, don't smile with your teeth showing. Many species think that's a threat. Third, move slowly and speak softly." Jun nodded, trying to remember everything. "Fourth," Taho continued, "don't talk about Earth food, especially meat. Most species here are plant eaters and get sick just thinking about it." "This is a lot to remember," Jun said. "You'll get used to it," Taho assured him. "Just think of yourself as a big, scary bear trying not to frighten a room full of rabbits." The next morning, Jun got ready for his first day of classes. He put on the school uniform, a blue jacket and pants that fit perfectly. He also wore his globe necklace under his shirt. His first class was galactic biology. The classroom had seats of different sizes for different alien bodies. Jun found a seat marked Earth and sat down. The teacher was a tall alien with light purple skin and 6 eyes. "Welcome, students. Today we have a new classmate from the planet Earth. Jun Park, please stand up." Jun stood up slowly. All eyes turned to him. "Earth is classified as a Class 9 death world," the teacher explained. "This makes Mr. Park different from most of you, but do not worry. He has been trained to be safe." Jun felt his face get hot. The way the teacher talked about him made him sound like a dangerous animal. After class, Jun walked to the science lab. He was so focused on walking slowly that he didn't notice a small crystal-like alien turning the corner. They bumped into each other. The crystal alien made a high, scared sound and fell back. 3 thin crystal legs stuck out from its round body. A book it had been carrying slid across the floor. "I'm sorry," Jun said. Without thinking, he moved quickly to catch the book before it hit the wall. His quick movement made the crystal alien and several others in the hallway freeze in fear. One even changed color from blue to white. Jun realized his mistake too late. He had moved too fast. He slowly put the book down and backed away. "I was just trying to help," he said softly. Later, in physical education class, the teacher asked everyone to show their jumping ability. When it was Jun's turn, he jumped about 1 meter high. The whole class gasped. 2 small green aliens fainted. The teacher quickly asked Jun to sit down. "I forgot to warn you," Taho said as they walked back to their room after classes. Human jumping looks like an attack to many species. June sighed. This is harder than I thought. How do I not scare everyone when everything I do seems scary to them? You'll learn, Tahoe said. It took me weeks to stop causing panic. Just keep trying. That night, June wrote in his journal, "First day at Alien High School. Scared 6 different species just by being human. Tomorrow will be better. I hope." June was trying to find the right classroom. It was his 3rd day at Celestial Academy, and he still got lost in the huge space station. He checked his schedule again. Advanced Galactic Science was in room 42B. He finally found the room and entered slowly, remembering to keep his movements calm. The teacher, a floating ball of green gas inside a clear container, turned to look at him. "Ah, the human has arrived," the teacher said. Its voice came from a small speaker on the container. "Please take a seat next to Subin Lee." June looked around and saw an empty seat. Next to it sat a humanoid alien with silver skin that seemed to shine under the lights. She had no visible mouth, but her large purple eyes watched June carefully. June sat down slowly. "Hello," he said quietly. "I'm June." The silver alien nodded but didn't speak. Instead, June heard a soft voice in his mind. "I am Subin. I communicate through thoughts." June almost jumped out of his seat. "You're in my head," he whispered. "I apologize," the voice in his mind said. "My species does not have mouths. We speak through thoughts. I will try to make it less surprising." The teacher began to explain their next project. "You will work in pairs to study different biological systems across species. Each pair will create a presentation about one body system." The teacher assigned topics to each pair. June and Subin, you will study respiratory systems, how different species breathe. After class, June and Subin agreed to meet in the library to start their project. "I know very little about human breathing." Subin's thoughts came to June. Her mental voice seemed curious but cautious. "I don't know much about how other species breathe either," June admitted. "On Earth, most animals use lungs or gills." They found a quiet corner in the library and began their research. The library had screens that showed information about thousands of species. June was amazed by the different ways aliens breathed. Some used gas exchange through their skin. Others had special organs that filtered chemicals from the air. "What about your species?" June asked Subin. "We absorb oxygen directly through our skin," she explained in his mind. "We need very little compared to humans." "How do you know that?" Subin's purple eyes studied him. "Your file says humans use large amounts of oxygen. Your lungs are very efficient, but need constant air." June frowned. "We have files. All Deathworlders do." Subin's thoughts came with a feeling of apology attached. "Many species fear humans because of your physical abilities. Your file helps teachers understand your needs." June felt uncomfortable knowing aliens were studying him, but then he realized he was doing the same thing to them for this project. As they worked, June noticed Subin always kept some distance between them. Once, when he reached for a screen and accidentally moved too quickly, she flinched back. "I'm sorry," June said. "I forget sometimes that my movements can seem scary." "It's not your fault," Subin replied in his mind. "Your emotional intensity is also difficult for my species. Humans feel things very strongly. Those feelings create powerful thought waves." "You can feel my emotions?" June asked, surprised. "Some of them. Strong ones. Fear, excitement, anger. They are like loud noises to my kind." June thought about this. "Is that why you stay far from me?" "My emotions are too loud." Subin's silver skin changed color slightly, turning a bit pink. "Yes, but it is interesting too. Most species here have calm, quiet minds. Humans are like bright stars among dim lights." For their project, they decided to do a simple experiment. They would measure how long different species could hold their breath. They asked students from 5 different species to participate. The results surprised everyone. The gas form teacher could change its breathing rate at will. A plant-like student could go hours without new air. But when Jun demonstrated by holding his breath for nearly 2 minutes, several students moved away from him in fear. "How can you survive without constant breathing?" one alien asked. "Humans store oxygen in their blood," Subin explained through her telepathy, which she extended to the whole class. "Their bodies can use this reserve when needed." The teacher was impressed with their project. "Excellent work showing respiratory adaptations," it said, though the human demonstration was concerning. After class, Subin's thoughts came to Jun more warmly than before. "I think I understand humans a little better now," she said in his mind. "And I understand why we scare people," Jun replied. "Things we think are normal can seem like superpowers to others." For the first time, Subin moved closer to Jun without fear. "Would you tell me more about Earth sometime? Your thoughts about it are fascinating." Jun smiled, remembering to keep his lips closed over his teeth. "I'd like that." 2 weeks had passed since Jun arrived at Celestial Academy. He was slowly getting better at not scaring his alien classmates. He moved carefully, spoke softly, and never showed his teeth when he smiled. But the cafeteria was still a challenge. "Remember," Tahoe said as they walked to lunch, "eat at the human table. The food machines there have Earth food." The cafeteria was a large room with many different sections. Each section had special food for different alien types. Some aliens ate gases. Others needed metals or special liquids. Jun and Tavo sat at a small table marked Deathworlders. Their food machine made human food like rice, vegetables, and synthetic meat that looked and tasted like the real thing. Jun pressed buttons on the machine and got a bowl of rice and beef. "Is that real meat?" asked a voice behind him. Jun turned and saw a tall alien with many arms and bright orange fur. Its large eyes looked at Jun's food with interest. "No, it's synthetic," Jun explained. "It's made to taste like meat but isn't from an animal." "Fascinating," the alien said. "I am Hyun. I study different cultures." "I'm Jun. Nice to meet you." Hyun sat down at their table. Tahoe looked surprised. No alien had ever sat with them before. "May I watch you eat?" Hyun asked. "I've heard humans have very strong stomach acid that can break down almost anything." Sure," Jun said, feeling awkward. Jun began to eat his lunch. Hyun watched closely, taking notes on a small device. A few other aliens noticed and came closer to see. "Is it true humans can eat things that would poison other species?" one small blue alien asked. "Some things, yes," Tahoe answered. "Our bodies can handle certain chemicals that might hurt others." More aliens gathered around to watch the humans eat. Jun felt like he was in a zoo. Then he took a big bite of his synthetic beef. The meat was juicy and slightly red inside. A gasp went through the watching aliens. 3 small plant-like creatures nearby suddenly wilted, their green leaves drooping. "What's happening?" Jun asked. "Herbivore species," Hyun explained quickly. "The sight of you eating something that looks like flesh is disturbing to them." Jun put down his fork, feeling bad. "I didn't mean to upset anyone." The plant aliens were helped away by their friends. A teacher came over to see what had happened. "Mr. Park," the teacher said, "please be more careful with your Earth food. Many species here have never seen a predator species eat before." "Predator species?" Jun asked, confused. "But humans eat plants too." "Humans can eat both plants and animals," the teacher explained. "This makes you omnivores. To many species here, that's just as frightening as being pure carnivores." After the teacher left, Jun pushed his food away. He wasn't hungry anymore. "Don't feel bad," Hyun said. "They just don't understand humans yet." "Maybe they never will," Jun said sadly. "That's why we need to help them learn," Hyun replied. "I want to start a club, the Human Understanding Club, to teach others about Earth and humans." Jun looked up, surprised. "You want to learn about humans, not just be scared of us." Many of us are curious, not just scared, Hyun said. Besides, humans are part of the galaxy now. We should understand each other. After lunch, Hyun introduced Jun to other aliens who wanted to join the club. There was Subin, of course. There was also Min, a liquid-based alien who lived in a special suit, and Do-Yun, a small fuzzy creature with 8 eyes. We'll meet once a week, Hyun explained. Jun and Taho can teach us about humans, and we can help them understand us too. For the first time since arriving, Jun felt hopeful. Maybe he could make friends here after all. That evening, he wrote in his journal, "Today I scared some plants by eating lunch. But I also helped start a club where aliens want to learn about humans. Progress." As he got ready for bed, Jun looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth. It seemed so far away now. But here, on this space station, he was slowly finding his place. Maybe being a Deathworlder isn't all bad, he told Taho. At least we're interesting. Taho laughed. Just wait until they learn about human sports. Their leaves will fall off for sure. A loud announcement echoed through the halls of Celestial Academy. The annual Zero-Gravity Games will begin in 3 days. All students are encouraged to participate. Jun looked at Taho with excitement. Sports. Finally, something fun. Taho shook his head, not like Earth sports. These are zero-gravity games. Aliens who evolved in space are really good at them. But I still want to try, Jun said. After a month at the academy, he was tired of always being careful. Sports would let him move freely. The next day, Jun signed up for the games. When the teacher saw his name on the list, her eyes widened. "Mr. Park, are you sure? These games are very different from Earth sports." "I want to try," Jun said firmly. "I need to do something active." The teacher nodded slowly. "Very well. Report to the zero-gravity chamber tomorrow for practice." The zero-gravity chamber was a huge round room where the gravity could be turned off. When Jun entered, about 20 alien students were already floating in the air. The coach, a long snake-like alien with small wings, flew over to Jun. "Human. Welcome. Have you ever been in zero-gravity before?" "Only in training on Earth," Jun admitted. "Well, let's see how you do. The gravity will turn off in 3, 2, 1. Suddenly, Jun felt his feet leave the floor. His stomach felt strange as he began to float upward. He waved his arms, trying to control his movement. Around him, the other aliens moved with ease. Some had wings. Others used small air jets on their suits. A few changed the shape of their bodies to move in different directions. Jun, meanwhile, spun slowly in circles. Each time he tried to move, he went in the wrong direction. "This is harder than it looks," he said to Hyun, who was using his many arms like a swimmer to move gracefully. "You'll get better," Hyun encouraged him. "Try pushing off from the walls." For an hour, Jun practiced moving in zero-gravity. By the end, he could push off walls and control his direction a little, but he was still far behind the other students. "Don't worry," the coach said. "The games test many skills, not just movement." 3 days later, the games began. Students and teachers filled the viewing area around the zero-gravity chamber. Jun wore a special suit with small handles that would help judges pull him back if he got stuck. The first event was a race. Students had to cross the chamber, touch the far wall, and return. When the signal sounded, all the students pushed off. Jun used all his strength to launch himself forward. The aliens moved like fish in water, changing direction easily. Jun moved in a straight line but couldn't turn quickly. He finished the race in last place. "Good effort, Earth Boy," someone called. Jun wasn't sure if it was a compliment or an insult. The second event was Spaceball, where students tried to throw a ball through a small hoop. Jun was better at this. His strong earth muscles let him throw the ball hard and accurately. He scored 3 points for his team. Then came the endurance test. Students had to stay active in zero gravity, moving around markers, for as long as possible. Most aliens started fast, showing off their graceful movements. But after 20 minutes, they began to tire. Their movements grew slower. Some had to leave the chamber to rest. June kept going. His Earth endurance, built from living in stronger gravity, helped him. While he wasn't as fast or graceful, he could keep moving long after others got tired. After 40 minutes, only June and 2 other aliens remained. The crowd watched with surprise as the human kept going. Then suddenly, a red light flashed. "Technical problem," the coach announced. "Stand by." Without warning, the gravity began to increase, not to Earth levels, but enough that the 2 remaining aliens began to struggle. Their bodies, designed for low or zero gravity, couldn't handle the extra weight. One alien drifted slowly to the floor, its wing-like limbs drooping. The other tried to stay up, but was clearly in pain. Without thinking, Jun pushed himself toward them. The increased gravity was still less than Earth's, so he could move easily. He reached the struggling aliens and helped them to the exit. "Are you okay?" Jun asked as he supported one alien that looked like it might collapse. How are you still standing?" the alien asked weakly. "This is still lighter than my home," Jun explained. "Earth gravity is much stronger." The coaches quickly turned off the gravity completely. They rushed in to check on the affected students. "Mr. Park," the head coach said, "thank you for your assistance. Your Deathworld strength was helpful today." For once, being a human from Earth wasn't scary, it was useful. As June left the chamber, several aliens nodded to him with respect. That night, Subin's thoughts came to him. "They're calling you the helpful monster now. I think it's a compliment." 2 months had passed since June arrived at Celestial Academy. His calendar showed that Chuseok, the Korean Harvest Festival, was only a week away. Looking at the date made June feel sad. This would be his first Chuseok away from his family. "What's wrong?" Tahoe asked, noticing June's face. "I miss home," June said. "Chuseok is coming up." Tahoe's eyes lit up. "We should celebrate it here. Show the aliens some human culture." June wasn't sure. "What if we scare them again?" "The Human Understanding Club has been going well," Tahoe pointed out. "Maybe it's time to share more than just facts about Earth." The idea grew on June. That afternoon, he brought it up at the club meeting. "What is Chuseok?" Hyun asked, all 4 of his arms writing notes at once. "It's a harvest festival," June explained. "Families gather to share food, play games, and honor their ancestors." Subin's thoughts entered June's mind. "We have similar celebrations on many worlds. What makes the human version special?" June thought about it. The food, the music, the dances. It brings people together. The aliens looked at each other with interest. Even Doyeon, the small fuzzy creature who usually stayed quiet, spoke up. "I would like to learn about human celebrations," he said in a soft voice. With the club's support, June and Taeho got permission to hold a small Chuseok celebration in one of the common rooms. They spent days preparing. The food machines couldn't make real Korean food, but they created something close. June even convinced the kitchen staff to let him make simple kimchi using space vegetables. On the day of the celebration, Jun wore his best clothes. He had set up pictures of Earth and Korea. Tahoe had prepared music. "Do you think anyone will come?" Jun asked nervously. "They'll come," Tahoe assured him. The first to arrive were the Human Understanding Club members. Then, to Jun's surprise, more students came. Some teachers even joined. Soon the room was full of curious aliens. Jun welcomed everyone and explained what Chuseok meant on Earth. He showed pictures of families gathering and traditional games. Then Taeho started the music. The sound of Korean drums and flutes filled the room. Jun demonstrated a simple traditional dance, his movements slow and careful. "Can we try?" Hyun asked. Soon, aliens of all shapes were trying to follow the dance steps. Some had too many legs, others had none at all. But they all tried their best, laughing when they got it wrong. Then something unexpected happened. The rhythmic movements that humans found beautiful seemed to affect some aliens strangely. 3 bird-like aliens began to tremble, their feathers standing on end. "Turn it off," one teacher shouted. "The rhythm matches their predator alert signals." Tahoe quickly changed the music to something softer. The bird aliens calmed down slowly. "I'm sorry," Jum said. "I didn't know the music would scare them." "It's not your fault," the teacher said. "Different species hear sounds differently." Despite this problem, the celebration continued. June offered the food he had prepared. Most aliens were careful, taking tiny bites of unfamiliar Earth food. Subin couldn't eat, having no mouth, but she enjoyed the smells. "Your food has such strong scents," her thoughts told June. "They tell stories of your world." Then Min, the liquid alien, tried the kimchi. His clear body suddenly turned bright red. "Min, are you okay?" June asked in alarm. The alien's body bubbled excitedly. "This sensation, it's spicy. We have nothing like this on my world. It's wonderful." Other aliens wanted to try it after that. Some loved it. Others couldn't handle the spice. One small alien hiccuped tiny flames after tasting it. The biggest surprise came when 3 teachers tried sweet rice cakes. Their normally serious faces changed completely. Their eyes grew wide, and they began to talk very fast. "What's happening to them?" June asked Hyun. "Sugar," Hyun explained. "Many species don't have it on their worlds. It affects them strongly." By the end of the celebration, the room was chaotic but happy. Some aliens were dancing to Earth music. Others were still eating, discovering new tastes. The teachers affected by sugar were laughing at everything. As June watched, Subin came to his side. "Your Earth culture is intense," her thoughts said. "Like humans themselves. Strong, colorful, full of feeling." "Is that good or bad?" June asked. "Different," she answered. "And fascinating." Later, as they cleaned up, Tahoe nudged June. "Look at the school news network." The headline read, "Human Cultural Event. Terrifying and Wonderful." Below was a picture of June teaching aliens to dance. "Well," June said with a smile, "at least we're not just terrifying anymore." June was studying in the library late one evening. Most students had gone back to their rooms, but he needed to finish a report on galactic history. As he searched for information, he noticed something odd. There were almost no mentions of humans in the history books before the last 50 years. "That's strange," he said to himself. "Humans have been in space for over a century." The next day, he asked Tahoe about it. "I noticed that too," Tahoe said. "It's like humans were hidden from galactic records." During lunch, they shared their discovery with the Human Understanding Club. Suvin's thoughts came to June with concern. "There are old stories," she said in his mind, "about a species from a dangerous world who could survive anywhere. Some say they were too dangerous to join the Galactic Federation." "Do you think that was humans?" June asked. Hyun joined the conversation. "I've heard my parents talk about human quarantine. They said humans were kept away from other species for safety." After school, June and Tahoe decided to look deeper. They went back to the library and searched for any information about Earth's first contact with aliens. While searching, June noticed a teacher watching them. It was Professor Kang, who taught advanced technology. He was a tall, thin alien with gray skin and 3 eyes. He had always seemed especially wary of the human students. "We should be careful," June whispered to Tahoe. "I think we're being watched." They pretended to study normal subjects until Professor Kang left. Then they continued their search. In a very old section of the library database, Tahoe found something interesting. "Look at this," he said. "A report from 120 years ago about a dangerous species with high physical capabilities and concerning technological growth rate." "That has to be humans," June said. "But why hide this information?" The next day, Subin came to them with news. My people can sometimes pick up stray thoughts from others, she explained. Yesterday, I caught something from Professor Kang. He was thinking about keeping the humans contained. Contained. June didn't like the sound of that. Like prisoners. I'm not sure, Subin said. But some teachers seem very worried about humans being at the school. That afternoon, the Human Understanding Club met in a quiet corner of the station. Hyun had big news. My family has connections in the Galactic Federation, Hyun said. I asked my parent about humans. They said that long ago, humans were discovered and considered too dangerous to join the galactic community. But why? June asked. We're not violent. At least, not anymore. It wasn't just about violence, Hyun explained. It was about how fast humans adapt and learn. Many species feared that humans would take over if given the chance. Do-hyun, who rarely spoke, added something important. Certain species wanted humans kept isolated. They saw Earth as a quarantine planet. This news shocked June and Taeho. All this time, they thought humans were new to space. But it seemed like aliens had known about Earth for a long time and deliberately kept humans away. Later that night, June couldn't sleep. He got up and walked to the observation deck to look at the stars. To his surprise, he found Min there, the liquid alien from their club. Trouble sleeping? Min asked, his clear body reflecting the starlight. I just learned that aliens have been keeping humans isolated on purpose, June said. It doesn't seem fair. Min's body rippled, which was how his species showed concern. There's more, he said quietly. I overheard Professor Kang talking to other teachers. Some of them don't want the human exchange program to succeed. What do you mean? June asked. There's a group that thinks humans should stay on Earth. They're worried about what will happen if humans join the Galactic Federation. Are they doing something to stop us? June felt a chill that had nothing to do with the station's temperature. I think so, Min said. I heard them talk about incidents that would prove humans are too dangerous. June remembered all the times he had accidentally scared other students. Had some of those situations been set up? The next morning, June and Taeho shared what they had learned with their friends. Subin agreed to try to pick up more thoughts from the suspicious teachers. Hyun promised to ask his parent for more information. We need to be careful, June told the group. If some people want the human exchange program to fail, they might try to make us look bad. Or they might do something worse, Taeho added. We need to watch out for each other. As they left the meeting, June noticed Professor Kang watching them from down the hall. The teacher's 3 eyes narrowed, and he quickly walked away. I think we just became part of a space conspiracy, June said quietly to Taeho. And we're the aliens they're afraid of, Taeho replied with a grim smile. A special announcement came over the school speakers. Attention all students and staff. Tomorrow, Celestial Academy will host important visitors from the Galactic Federation. All classes will be suspended. Students should wear formal uniforms and behave appropriately. This must be about the human exchange program, Taeho said quietly. Maybe they're checking on us. That evening, the Human Understanding Club met secretly in June and Taeho's room. Subin had important news. I caught more thoughts from Professor Kang, her mental voice told them. He and some others are planning something during the visit tomorrow. They want to show that humans don't belong here. What are they planning? June asked. I couldn't get clear details, Subin said. Just feelings of anticipation and satisfaction, like they're sure they will succeed. We need to be extra careful tomorrow, Hyun said. Stay calm no matter what happens. The next morning, all students lined up in the main hall. June and Taeho wore their best uniforms and stood perfectly still. They had practiced moving slowly and speaking softly all night. 5 important-looking aliens entered the hall. They wore special robes with symbols of the Galactic Federation. The school principal, a tall blue alien with tentacles instead of arms, welcomed them. We are honored to have the Education Council visiting our humble academy, the principal said. We are especially proud of our diversity program, which now includes students from Earth. One of the visitors, who seemed to be the leader, looked directly at June and Tahoe. Yes, the human experiment. That is why we are here. To see how successful it has been. June didn't like how the visitor said, experiment. It made him feel like a lab test. The visitors toured the school, stopping to watch classes and talk to students. They seemed especially interested in how other students reacted to the humans. During lunch, the visitors sat at a special table near June and Tahoe. June could feel them watching his every move as he ate carefully. Then, without warning, the lights went out. The whole station went dark. For a moment, there was silence. Then emergency lights came on, casting a dim red glow over everything. A computerized voice announced, "Warning. Power system failure. Life support systems switching to emergency power. All students returned to dormitories immediately." Teachers began directing students out of the cafeteria. There was panic in their voices. June noticed that the visitors looked alarmed. Suddenly, Professor Kang appeared next to them. "This is most unfortunate," he said, but June thought he detected a hint of satisfaction in his voice. As students moved through the halls, June felt the air getting colder. The station's heating system was failing. In their room, June and Tavo found Subin waiting for them. Her silver skin had a dull look in the emergency lighting. This was planned. Her thoughts came weakly. But it's gone wrong. They only meant to cause a small problem to see how humans would react under stress. Not a complete power failure. The temperature kept dropping. Soon, Jung could see his breath in the air. For him and Tahoe, it was uncomfortable but manageable. Earth had cold places too. But when they checked on their alien friends, they found a serious problem. Many species couldn't handle the cold. Subin's movements had slowed down. Hyun's fur was stiff with frost. Min's liquid body was starting to freeze around the edges. "They can't survive this," Tahoe said. "And the emergency systems aren't fixing the problem." The principal's voice came over the speaker, sounding worried. "The main power core has shut down completely. Engineers cannot reach it because of the extreme cold in the lower levels. We advise all students to group together for warmth until help arrives." June looked at Tahoe. "We can handle the cold better than most species here." Tahoe nodded. "We have to help." They put on all their clothes, layering them for warmth. Then they wrapped blankets around Subin and the other alien friends. "We're going to the power core," June told them. "We can restart it." "Impossible," a voice said from the doorway. It was Professor Kang. "The temperature in the core section is too low. You'll freeze before you reach it." "Maybe for your species," Tahoe said, "but not for Deathworlders." For the first time, Professor Kang looked uncertain. "You would risk your lives." "For our friends?" "Yes," Jun said simply. The professor was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "The access codes." He showed them a sequence of symbols on his device. "These will open the core room, but I still think you will fail." As they prepared to leave, Subin's weak thoughts reached them. "Be careful. Remember, you may be monsters to some, but you're our monsters." June smiled at that. "Let's go save our school," he said to Tahoe. "Time to show them what Deathworlders can really do." 3 months had passed since the power crisis. June stood before a mirror, adjusting his graduation uniform. It had the Celestial Academy symbol on one shoulder and an Earth patch on the other. He touched the small globe necklace his mother had given him before he left home. "Ready for the big day?" Tahoe asked, already dressed in his uniform. June nodded. Hard to believe the year is over. The hallways were decorated for graduation day. Students from all species walked toward the main hall, many nodding to June as he passed. Some even smiled in the human way they had learned from him. So much had changed since the crisis. June thought back to that cold day when he and Tahoe had saved the station. They had made their way through freezing corridors to the power core. The room was so cold that frost covered everything. While most aliens would have shut down in such temperatures, the humans could still function. Their hands shook and their breath froze in the air, but they kept moving. Together, they had followed the emergency restart procedure that Professor Kang had sent to their devices. It took strength to turn the frozen manual controls and endurance to stay in the cold long enough to finish the job. But they did it. The lights came back on, and warmth slowly returned to the station. When they returned, they found the Education Council waiting. Instead of fear or suspicion, the visitors looked at the humans with new respect. "You used your Deathworld abilities to help others," the head of the council had said. "Perhaps we have been wrong about humans." After that day, Professor Kang and his allies were removed from the school. It turned out they were part of a group that wanted to keep humans isolated from the rest of the galaxy. They had caused the power failure to prove humans were dangerous under stress, but their plan had backfired. Now, entering the graduation hall, Jum saw his friends waiting. Subin's silver skin glowed with health. Hyun waved all 4 arms excitedly. Min, Do-hyun, and the other club members saved seats for the humans. The ceremony began with the principal addressing all students. "This has been a historic year for Celestial Academy," she said. "We have faced challenges and overcome them together. We have learned that diversity makes us stronger." One by one, students were called to receive their graduation certificates. When Jum's name was called, he walked slowly to the stage, careful not to make sudden movements out of habit. "June Park of Earth," the principal announced, "who has taught us as much as he has learned. The council has a special announcement regarding Mr. Park." The head of the Education Council stepped forward. "The Galactic Federation has decided to expand the human exchange program. Next year, 10 human students will join Celestial Academy. And June Park has been asked to serve as Earth's first junior ambassador to the Federation." Surprised whispers spread through the hall. June stood still, shocked by the news. "Mr. Park," the council head continued, "your actions during the crisis showed the best qualities of humans. Yes, you come from a dangerous world that makes you physically strong, but you use that strength to protect others." After the ceremony, June's friends surrounded him with congratulations. "Junior Ambassador," Hyun said. "That's a big honor." Subin's thoughts reached June. "They finally see what we learned months ago, that humans are not monsters to fear, but friends to value." Later, at the graduation party, students from all species mingled together. Some even tried human dances that June had taught them. Teachers watched with approval as former enemies became friends. The principal approached June with a small box, a graduation gift from the academy. Inside was a pin showing Earth and Celestial Academy's symbol together. "You have bridged 2 worlds, Mr. Park," she said. "No small achievement for someone so young." That night, June sat on the observation deck, looking at the stars. Earth was out there somewhere, and soon he would return for a short visit before beginning his new role. He thought about his first day of the academy, how afraid he had been of scaring everyone. Now those same beings who once feared him asked for his help and friendship. Tahoe joined him, looking at the stars. "So, Ambassador, what's next for humans in space?" June smiled. "We show the galaxy that Deathworlders make the best friends, because anyone who can survive Earth can help others survive anything." As if to prove his point, the station lights flickered briefly. No one panicked. They knew the humans were there to help if needed. "I guess we didn't need a guide to not freaking everyone out after all," Jum said. "We just needed to be ourselves. Scary parts and all."